Lesson 18 starts. The group is traveling back to Balter. Parnox and Rivana, as we're making our way through, decide to stop for the night as it is going close to evening, and they come across a group, and they see a swarm of butterflies known to the Blacklands as Crimson Killers, and they understand that they seem to swarm around items of extreme arcanic power. Able to convince them, Ravana is able to trade an item that we had previously found, a porcelain mask in the likeness of the Venerate, as well as Parnox's shirt, to this almost hive mind, to in trade to the arcanic item that they had. Once we receive that, and we make our way back to Balter relatively without any other issue. Once there, a few other projects finished, so the Medusa and Lance are currently residing within the barn that has finished. That actually is the store of our food. We give the platinum coin to Talia, who understands the importance of this in hopes that they can actually have an area in which to teach music to those, because the Songstrides are not a family in blood, but a family in their vocation in being bards. We also introduce Lance to who is the mage, the mage who traveled through time, as it were, to Red, who seems to be very curious. And we awoke those that were affected by El Sonos. In addition to this, we are also introduced to another faction known as the Knights, or Noble Knights, and their faction leader, at least the one that we know of, Falcor. They seem to follow the idea of the High Bastion that would be located at Glint Castle that has since fallen. But they agreed for a small price of a portion of the gold we received and materials that they would actually guarantee safe travels to the people that would be traveling from our outpost that also had finished. So the outpost now brings in a monthly income as well as materials and food, and we're able to finish a few other projects. During this time, our Parnox goes to visit Arturius and notes that the scavengers' numbers have dwindled extensively. We find out that the issue between the Edgies and Moonies, the children of the Blood Chalice, or the Edgies as the group would call them, and the Moonies, the children of Uthiel, or faithful of Uthiel, I apologize. The issue has gotten consistently worse, to the point where actually the last Bastion has stated that all Ravagers must go to them, must go to assist to try to resolve the issue. The party Parnox understands that they need Arturius and the Scavengers there to really continue what they're doing to help increase Balter's capabilities. So most likely that will be the next step that they'll be taking as Parnox comes to that terms. Before he leaves Arturius, though, he makes a few different deals. Out of the course of their travels, the party has come across various items of various various potential sellable amounts. One of which, though, being a black diamond. We understand that actually has no arcana behind it, but seems to be very, very expensive and very, very good. Showing this to Arturius states they're basically making a deal here and now. Upon this deal, they come across a various amount of gold, but Parnox is more interested in a few other things. Parnox decides that in addition to this, in addition to the gold that was offered, Arturius also offers the ability to now sell armaments. Before this, the party would have to gather weapons just by scrounging through the Blacklands. But now they have the ability to buy, if it's available, or have Arturius find for them, actual weapons, whether it be steel, iron, moon silver, whether it be and different types of weapons itself of various capabilities, such as piercing, slashing, whatever the type of damage may be. Which, especially with how some of the monsters in the Blacklands can be, it is very important to have weapons of a various type. In addition to this, though, Parnox makes a deal with Arturius for a portion of the gold to be removed from that deal. He states that the scavengers would either assist in finishing a project early that the group would decide upon, or that they would actually hinder another group's project, because a few sessions back, apologies it was not mentioned, but a secondary faction within Baltor known as Parliament has arisen due to the issue it takes. It feels that the Balter should not be ruled by those that have just appeared within Balter. It should be ruled by the people. And it feels that the group is not within its rights to be making the decisions that they are doing. The Parliament is currently making a town hall, and so if they make any projects in the future, Parnox basically stated either you can help us or you can hinder their building, and Victorious did agree to this as well once the issue with the children and the faithful are resolved. In addition to this, we see a bunch of various other things happen. The main item is that the shack, the main home main home base, I should say, for the group, is made a little bit better. Out of game, if the shack, which is currently the place that the players reside when they are home, is made to look nicer, made to be a better living area, it will actually increase the max sanity that the players can receive. Parnox decided that there's no use for the orb, the drift globe that was currently that's been kind of staying within the inventory that we had. So he grabs a piece of material that was brought in from the Alabaster Ruins, and puts the orb on top of it. Basically makes a homemade rustic lamp that they can use within it, and actually increases the max sanity players can have. In addition to this, again, more out of player items just for that the players knew, but the characters themselves would not know unless it was happening to them. Isaac seems to be learning that there could potentially be more uses for his power, whether it be changing the weapon style he has, or using it in different capabilities just outside of just armor. And Ravana also does something similar, and kind of seems to understand that it looks like they're understanding memories that they don't think are theirs, but then they remember that it is theirs. Basically, the possession is they're getting further possessed. So, that's happening. And that's kind of where that leaves on session 18.